You down with CGC? Yeah, you know me. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of We Love Comics. My name is Chris, and today we're going to show off some more of my CGC collection. I have so many graded books that if I did them all in one video, it would be way too long for you guys and your viewing pleasure, so I'll divide them up and get a bunch of videos out there, and maybe you'll see something you didn't have, something that you want to have, or something that you're glad you don't have. So let's get into it, shall we? We shall. Alright, the first one we're going to show. Now, this is a book I've been talking about for years. It is a book that you should be getting, and that is Shazam issue number 1, which is from 1973. This is the first appearance of Captain Marvel since the Golden Age. So this is a Bronze Age book. But especially with the rumors of the movie, I don't know if it's still 100% confirmed at this point. So be careful with that. Make sure you do your research, because with movies, they can change over time. But I got this in a high grade, and for the prices I paid for them, I can't complain. This is off-white to white pages. Beautiful looking book. And I got that at CGC 9.4. Bought that off eBay. Only paid about $80 for this book, so definitely worth it, and still a book I'd recommend to get if you are one of those people that likes to collect for potential movies. Alright, next one, pretty much I'm sure if you are a Harley Quinn fan, this is a book you will have. And this is Harley Quinn issue number 1. This is the 2000 series, even though they've already rebooted it about 5 or 6 times. And of course, I'm being sarcastic, it hasn't been that much. But this is the first Harley Quinn in her own title. It has a Joker and Poison Ivy appearance. Love this cover. This is definitely one, if I ever see the artist, I'll get this signed. I would love to get this. Bought it off eBay for $125. White pages. Absolutely beautiful cover. 9.8. It's another decent book. Harley Quinn is still going strong. Definitely a book to pick up. Alright, this is a book. I'm looking forward to the next season of Daredevil. I'm sure she will be back. This is Daredevil number 181, which is the quote-unquote death of Elektra. And if you've been in comic books for anywhere longer than 2 days, you know that any death tends to not stay dead, especially when they use, time travel and alternate universes and things like that. So, I guess if you love a character, you never have to worry about that. And that's, to me, it's a little disappointing. I mean, my thing is, if they kill off a character, it should stay that way, because then, nowadays, it really doesn't really mean anything when a character dies, because you know what's going to happen. Like the death of Superman and people like that, even in the movies. They already talked about Justice League. People knew that he was going to be in it before the Batman v Superman movie was done being in the movie theater, so kind of takes away from it a little bit. But this is from CGC. Got this graded at a 9.8. This is another beautiful cover. Frank Miller story and art. And there's the back, just in case anybody's interested, which usually not many people are. Alright, next up, this is definitely a book that is getting hot. I bought this about 2 years ago, because I had a feeling, well, I think it was one of my, sources that told me about this, but this is another version of X-23. This is from 2005. This is X-23 issue number 1. This is her first main series by herself. And obviously with the movie coming out in the next couple of days, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Anything with X-23 in it is pretty hot at this point. So this is definitely a book to get, and this is another book I told people years ago to buy. I only paid $70 for this book, and I got it at a 9.8, so it's definitely selling a lot more than $70. And that's what's fun about the speculation part of it with me. I mean, it's not going to be for everybody. Collect for whatever reasons you want. I collect for many reasons, but one of them is absolutely for speculation. It's fun to see books that you bought at cheaper prices go up in value. And remember, you're going to have some that go up, you're going to have some that go down. So don't get too excited on the highs and don't get too depressed on the lows. And I'll give you an example. This is a book that has gone down since the movie has already passed. But this is still a great book for me to have. It's Avengers number 55, which, of course, is the first full appearance of Ultron, which we all know is, still a very good character. But, I mean, the movie brought it up the value, and now that it's past that time, it's going to lose a little bit. But overall, I still think this is a great comic book to have in the long haul. That's why I still have it. This is off-white to white pages, and I got it at an 8.5. And just to show, I mean, I bought this back in, I think, the end of 2014. I paid about $325 for this book. So it's gone down a little bit since then, but like I said, you don't get too excited about the highs, and you don't get too disappointed when it lowers. That's what happens. If you're doing it for the fun of it, you don't care if you lose money, because technically I haven't sold it, so I haven't lost anything. So I don't worry about stuff like that. All right, next up, again, this is another one. Looking forward to the second movie. This is Avengers number 181, new Avengers lineup, but it's the first appearance of Scott Lang, which of course becomes the second rendition of Ant-Man. This one was signed by George Perez, and it does have the yellow label, so that means it was signature witnessed by CGC. Got it off-white to white pages with a 9.2. There's the signature right there. His signature is definitely one that you'd have no idea what it was if it wasn't for them actually posting what it was there. Not everybody's signature is going to be legible, but they witnessed it, so that's good enough for me. I didn't write the price on that one, so I don't know how much I paid, so I apologize for that. All right, next one. This is one that I bought raw, and I got graded myself about a year or two back. And this is Miss Marvel number 1. I knew this was in pretty decent grade when I got it. I only paid $39 for the book, so another roughly about $22 to $25 to get it graded if you include the shipping and handling and insurance fees. But of course, this is the first Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel, her own series. This is white pages. Love this cover. It definitely is an attractive cover to look at. I'm sure because of Scorpion. But I did get it graded, came back at 9.2. So considering I paid, I guess you'd have to say about $55, $60 when all said and done with all the shipping and handling fees and the grading. 9.2 for that. I'll take it. All right, next up. Again, I'm looking forward to season number 2 to this show. This is Alias. This is the first appearance of Jessica Jones. Also has a Luke Cage appearance. If you haven't watched the Netflix series, please watch it. It takes a little bit. It's not as action-packed as like Daredevil, but still it's an intriguing story, and it was good enough for me to look forward to the next season to see where it goes. And of course, Jessica Jones will be part of the Defenders, so this character's here to stay for the time being, so definitely a book to pick up. This is another book that I bought raw. I sent it into CGC about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and got it graded. I only paid $40 for this book, and that included the shipping and handling, and then you factor in all the other stuff with the CGC. But it was white pages, and came back at 9.8. So probably all together, probably about 60, 65 bucks altogether I invested in that book. Comes back at 9.8. Definitely works for me. So a lot of times it's good to buy books raw. Take a look at the book. And remember, I see people do this all the time. When they try and grade a book, they tend to just look at the front cover, and that's it. You have to remember, when you're grading a book, it's the front cover, the back cover, the staples, whether they have been rusted a little bit or they're loose, every single page inside. So look more than just the cover, because you could have a perfect cover and the inside of the book has a couple of bends, and that will lower the grade, but if you get it slabbed, you'll never know that. So always check your books thoroughly before you get them. And another key thing, with a book like this, if you can see it's very dark, I want to thank Mr. White Gloves for the advice, but they will actually even take points off of fingerprints. And when you have either a very shiny book with like a very good paper stock or a black background, just grabbing it with your fingers can leave a mark, and then it can lower the grade. I've seen that happen before. Like CBCS is famous for taking points off, and they'll put it in the grader's notes. All right, let's get to the next one. This is another book I was talking about for years. This one, you still have the opportunity to get this. I mean, it's getting up there in price, but it is definitely not out of range at this point. This is Forever People #1. Now, this is the exception to the rule. Hopefully I didn't show this one. I might have. I have a couple of copies of it, so forgive me if I showed this one already. But this is the first full appearance of Darkseid. Now, most comic books, it's usually the first full appearance that's the most desirable. This is one of the exceptions to the rule, so you can still get this one cheap, but this, of course, first appearance of Darkseid, you know he's going to end up in Justice League, whether the first movie, the second movie, or both. Once he's shown, you know a lot of people are going to climb on board for this. So it's definitely up there at this point, but you could still get it raw. But I paid $138 for this book with shipping and handling, and it was an 8.5. I bought that off eBay, off-white to white pages. So, for that price, you can't go wrong. All right, so the last one for this particular show, and I got so many others, so I'll do plenty of other videos like this with my collection if you're interested, because I mean, as you can see, this is just some of the long boxes I have just in the vicinity. It goes 3 rows back, and these are the long boxes. That's not including all the ones I have up in my attic and plenty of others in a storage facility. So, and that's not including my CGCs. Yeah, you know me. All right, so the last one we're going to show for this particular video. Of course, this is a book, it's a must-have in your collection if you collect comic books. I'm sure everybody and their great-grandfather has this one. But this is the Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 252. It is tied with Marvel Team Up 141 for the first appearance of the black costume in the Spider-Man series. But this is the most desirable one. I think it's mainly because of the fact that it has the cover swipe of Amazing Fantasy 15. And it's just a great-looking cover. I mean, especially with the colors and the orange and the black and everything, it just really blends well. So this book really stands out. And I've seen bids where you have Secret Wars number 8, which is the first appearance of the black suit, and this one back-to-back. More people will bid on this one. I think it's just because they like the colors and they like the way this cover looks. So definitely, if it's a book you don't have, get it. I mean, you could still find this book for under $40 easily, and high grade. So, I mean, I didn't pay $40 for this one. It's 9.8. I paid $150 for this, but still not a bad price for a 9.8. And with these movies, eventually Venom, or at least the black suit, will be showing up. So that's just a matter of time before they reboot Venom and the costume, which means this is going to become very desirable in the future. Of course, there's nothing guaranteed, but it's always fun to take the chance. Like they say in the lotto, you got to be in it to win it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thumbs up will always show that you did. If you watched until this point, what I want you to say is Spider-Man looks good in black. And then whatever else you want to put in the comments section. Hit subscribe if you haven't. The more people here, the merrier. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. Don't forget to hit the share button on the way out. Just make sure you don't hit your friends on the way out, because that's not nice. And that's it. Thanks for watching. And remember, it's not you, it's not I, it's We Love Comics. I'll see you next video. Spider-Man definitely is a swinger. Ah!